Alright, so the first thing we need to do is assemble all the necessary ingredients to make the donuts. The first thing we have is 3.5 tablespoons of butter. We're going to need about 4 tablespoons of milk powder, and finally 10 tablespoons of powdered sugar.
3 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, and half teaspoon of salt.
And we're also going to need 1.5 tablespoons of yeast, and finally 1.5 tablespoons of vanilla extract. The first step is pouring 10 tablespoons of sugar into a larger bowl. Step number 2, get your 1.5 tablespoon of yeast and pour that into the bowl as well. And step 3, get your 1 cup of warm milk and pour it into the bowl as well. Once all these ingredients are in, let it sit for a full 10 minutes.
After letting the yeast mixture sit for about 10 minutes until it starts to foam up, you're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract into the yeast mixture, and Kevin's going to show us how to do that. Excellent, Kevin. And then after that, we're going to add this yeast mixture into about 3 cups of flour. So go ahead and do that. Cool. And then along with this mixture, we're going to add about half a teaspoon of salt. There's the salt. And 4 tablespoons of milk powder.
After we mix,
So we start mixing this for the dough, for the donuts. We try to mix thoroughly as possible so it doesn't make any thick pieces.
Eventually.
Alright, so we knead until it's pretty good and good like dough. And then Jacob passed me the butter. It's 3.5 tablespoons of softened butter, so you just mix it in there.
so after the butter is mixed in with the dough, cover your dough with some form of plastic wrap and let it sit for about an hour.
1 hour later.
After letting the dough sit for about an hour and allowed it to rise, we remove the dough from the container now. And we're gonna roll it up in a ball. It's really gooey. Okay, so after it's in a ball shape, roll it out.
Okay, so after we finish rolling out the dough, we have a nice even surface. We're going to start making the outlines of each individual donut using this nice little tool here. And we're trying to make as little space as possible between the circles that we make so we don't waste any of our amazing dough. And then as I'm going, Sean's creating the center hole for the donuts.
Here we go.
We're going to start taking out the donuts and start putting them on the trays. Also, what we're going to do is we're going to mash it up together and then
Make some more.
Yeah, we're going to
Science.
Yeah.
What?
This is the excess dough from the donuts, and now we're just gonna we turned it into a ball again, and then now we're just gonna roll it out. All right, so we're making the holes again from the excess dough.
Kobe.
Let's try it.
gonna repeat this one more time.
We're just gonna do this.
Maybe like 2 donuts.
Every donut counts. We don't. Donut lives matter.
Alright, so I'm gonna fry the donuts. Let's go.
Later.
So now we're gonna be making the glaze for the donut, and Kevin is going to show us how.
1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 2 tablespoons of milk, and then 2 cups of powdered sugar.
And we're gonna put that all in a bowl and then mix. Alright, so now that all those ingredients are in this bowl, we're going to mix it. So after the donuts are fried, we're gonna put them in its glaze. We're only gonna do one side. So you're simply just gonna drop it in, move it around a little bit, take it out, and just put it on a separate pan and let it sit. We're just gonna repeat this process with all of them.
Looks so good.
So after we glaze the donuts, this is the final product.
We're eating donuts all of our lives. Yes, we love donuts.